intelligence of the head is in the body. It just needs no disruption. I mean, how can that not grab you when you read Ephesians 4 and you talk about the joints and the ligaments, being reset in order? In fact, the word joint there in the Greek that Paul uses is a orthopedic terminology. It's talking about stitching together and fixing broken bones. So and then he talks about the headship of Christ. So it became really fascinating to say this analogy of the body of Christ and the fact that all the gifted ones, the apostle, prophet, evangelist, shepherd, and teacher, which we both know is not a leadership text, it's a body text. So these gifts that are distributed out throughout the body, but the problem is if you look at someone that has been paralyzed, and unfortunately, I've got two friends who both their sons at 17 were paralyzed. One in a motorcycle accident, one in a football accident on a Friday night. And both of these young men, if you go to see them today, a lot of times maybe if they're not in their wheelchair, if they're sitting in a chair or couch or whatever, you'd look at them and you'd think they're just fine. And really, they are. Their bone structure's fine. Their organs are fine. Now they have atrophy in those muscles, but otherwise the body is ready to rock and roll. The problem is the disconnect below the atlas. But if you can fix that, if you can repair that connection, then everything that the brain's trying to say to the body kicks in. But what happens is we lose movement when we get paralysis. And sometimes you even end up with other maladies, right? Because of this disruption. So that's just exactly what happens in the body when we're out of order, when we're out of alignment, is that the body becomes dysfunctional.
Hmm. So what then happens when we put people at the head, the brainchild? The people are the brain of the operation. Then what happens to the church in that way?
Yeah, well, it dismobilizes so many of the other members. It dismobilizes so much of the functionality of the other gifted ones.